Hi, welcome to my video called Stamparatus Part 2, Large Size Stamps. My name is Karen Sliwinski. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Northeast Ohio. Thanks for watching my video today. So the card we're going to be making today is right here, and we're going to be featuring the Blossoms in Bloom stamp set. But first I want to show you a little bit more about the Stamparatus. So here is the Stamparatus. It has a plate that swings on a hinge just like this. It also comes with a second plate that works on the second hinge. So when you store these, you only want to have one plate on the hinge, and the other one you're going to want to just store off of the hinge and just sitting on top. So the Stamparatus comes with this foam mat. And this is your base. It has a nice grid that you can use for measuring and positioning. You could also purchase this foam mat, which is just like this, except it has the grid on it. So the reason that you have this foam mat or you don't depends on the type of stamp. So today we are going to be using some photopolymer stamps. I don't know if you can see that too well, but they are fairly thin stamps. If you are using a red rubber stamp, they already have this cushion of foam built right into the stamp. So when you're doing a red rubber, you're just going to use this base. But if you're doing photopolymer, you're either going to use the mat that comes with it or the optional mat with the grid. Okay, so I'm going to use the mat with the grid. Now, the Stamparatus comes with two magnets, and there's a place on the back that you can store them. So these magnets are very strong. I usually just use one of the magnets to hold my piece in place. If the two come together and meet, they will break. Trust me, I have had that happen. And another nice thing I like to do is use a stamp pad or an ink pad, or not stamp pad, a stamp case, so that when I've got this open, it keeps it flush, keeps it a nice level surface here. So we're going to get started, and I have a piece of crumb cake. This measures 3 3/4 by 5, and I'm going to just position my magnet to hold it in place. So when you have a large stamp like this, and this is stained just because I've inked with pinks and purples, which like to stain your photopolymers. It doesn't change the effectiveness of it. But when you have a big stamp like this, very few people have a very big block in order to mount this. So the Stamparatus is a perfect solution. You position your stamp, close the lid, and it's going to pick up the stamp. Now you see there sometimes it clings a little bit to your paper, and you need to reposition it. Okay, I could bring my second magnet and hold it down here in the corner. But this is our color palette today: Cherry Cobbler, Pear Pizzazz, and Bumblebee. So to ink this up, you open up your stamp pad and you turn it upside down. Here, I'm going to move this over a little bit so that you can see it a little bit better. And then you are just going to ink your surface. And then all you have to do is close your lid, and then you're going to give it a good press. And another nice thing about this is if you do not get it entirely inked, you could always go back and press it again. So right here, I'm going to reposition this. I did not get a real good image here, so I'm just going to go back and press that area down. And there, actually I could probably use a little bit more there. And you can go back and do that. So I'm going to just close this up. I'm going to move this out of the way. Now we're ready. I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper here. And then we are going to stamp some leaves. I'm going to use my Pear Pizzazz. I'm going to ink, whoops, upside down. I'm going to ink up, and I'm going to place some leaves here. I'm going to have this one going off. I'm going to have a couple leaves down here. And you can place these wherever you like them. There's no real set way that they have to go. I think we need another one up here. All right, I'm going to clean that off. And then we're going to add the center of our flower. And to do that, I'm going to take my Bumblebee, which was one of our new in colors. And these are the centers. I'm just going to go ahead and place those in the middle of my flowers. And one more. Okay. Now I am ready to go ahead and I can mat this. I'm just going to use a little bit of my multi-purpose glue. You don't want very much glue, just a little bit around the sides of this. This panel is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. Now I have a scrap. This is the Bumblebee, and I'm going to do my saying. And I'm going to just do that again in the cherry cobbler. So here I have that, and I'm going to say thank you. I'm going to position that. Okay. And then I'm going to trim this off. And you could just use scissors. I've got my little trimmer over here. And I think I would like a flag. Now I've shown you before that you can use our punches, but you could also just use your little paper snips. You just cut a little snip there in the center and you go from the corner to that snip and the corner to that snip again. And then you have a little banner. All right. So I would like to snazz this card up just a little bit before I put it on the base. So I'm going to add a little bit of our Seal Plus. This is one of our new adhesives. It's a very strong adhesive, and I have some of our linen thread. So I'm going to just anchor that thread. Oh, if I can get it in there. Okay, and I'm going to wrap that around my card. And I'm going to just do it, spacing it out a little bit. And I'm going to make sure it is anchored very well. And snip that off. All right, so then I have a crumb cake base. This is a half a sheet of paper. And I'm going to fold it right in the middle. And grab my bone folder and give that a nice crease. So I would like to pop this card up onto my base. So I'm going to take some dimensionals, and you want to make sure that you don't have sagging in the middle. So I like to put one on each side, and then I put one like so. So we're going to take these backings off. Now, some people are really good by using their multi-purpose tool to take off the backings on this, but I usually don't have much of a problem with my nails. And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to center that right on our card base. Okay, and then with this, I'm going to use some mini dimensionals, and I'm going to only position these at either end because this is going to go over your linen thread that you have on there. So you don't want these dimensionals, and you can position it wherever you would like it. I think this one, I'm going to have it right about there. And there you have your card. So the Stamparatus, again, is one of my favorite tools, and I hope that you give it a try. I have another video for next time, which is Stamparatus Part 3, some additional techniques. Please share my video. It helps me to grow my business, and if you like it, please give me a thumbs up. And I'd love it if you subscribed, and if you need to purchase anything, I would really appreciate your business. Thanks again.